Hello folks and welcome back to the Pool Deck Podcast. Today we're going to be doing a sports update. Today we're going to start with the Pro Series swim event in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So at this event, a couple notable things happened. Leon Marchand, the great French swimmer, was back in action, and 2 world records were broken, which was like nuts. The first world record that was broken was Gretchen Walsh breaking the world record 100 meter butterfly, and she went a 54.6. Wow. Now this is like Gretchen Walsh, they're kind of nuts. Virginia swimming, kind of nuts, but this is absolutely insane. 54.6. Wow. The other world record that was broken was Katie Ledecky going a 8:04.12 in the 800 freestyle. And at this point, are we even surprised? Like, this is Katie Ledecky, the great swimmer, great distance swimmer. Oh my word, she is so nuts. And, she's got some of the best times in the world, the best distance swimmer. She trains. I mean, like, it's just so insane. And she broke another world record. I think that one was also hers. But 8:12 in the 800 free, nuts. It was also just a very tough competition down there. Some great swims were had. A couple of Pro Series records were also broken. A couple of US Open records were also broken as well. So it was, it was kind of nuts. Lots of fast swimming down at that new facility. It was just a great event. The next event we are going to talk about is the PDGA Champions Cup that happened over the weekend. At this event, first major of the year, I'm pretty sure, and it started out interesting. It started out very interesting with Paul Macbeth shooting a course record. And everybody was thinking, we got McBeast mode back. He's gonna go nuts. It was a great lead card. It was like just wow. Paul Macbeth's on top. He's got a bunch of strokes. Round 2, shoots 2 under and ends up in a tie for first with Isaac Robinson, which, are we surprised? It's Isaac Robinson. He's always there in a disc golf event. And then it was a great lead card as well with Isaac Robinson, Paul Macbeth, Anthony Barella, Ricky Wysocki, 4 of the best. Great card. And then things kind of went a little bit downhill, and we had an interesting card for round 3 with Sullivan Tipton, Isaac Robinson, Andrew Barnwade, and Benjamin Callaway, which is just a little bit different. And finally, Isaac Robinson took it home. Anthony Barella finished 2nd, Andrew Marreid finished 3rd, and Gannon Burr finished 4th. The 3 players, Robinson, Barella, Gannon, are all some of the top players in the world, so this is not a surprise. But now Isaac has taken down his 4th major title, which is kind of cracked. It's absolutely insane. Hopefully Gannon gets one soon, but you never know. The next event we are going to talk about is the NBA playoffs. So the NBA playoffs have started. They've actually been going on for a bit now, and it's definitely been something else with different teams falling and rising, and a couple of Game 7s so far, which has been super fun. So a big kind of shocker, no shocker, is the Clippers-Nuggets game, where James Harden in the Game 7 elimination game once again did not score a lot of points. He was like 7 points. Did not take a lot of shots, which definitely does not, play well into his legacy. Steph and the Curry and his Warriors went up 3-1 against the Rockets before the Rockets were able to bring it back to a Game 7. And now the Warriors won the series. They're now in the next round of the playoffs. Nuggets beat the Clippers. Oklahoma Thunder beat the Grizzlies. Cavaliers beat the Heat. The Pacers beat the Bucks. The Knicks beat the Pistons. And the Celtics beat the Orlando Magic. It's definitely been interesting. I haven't followed it as closely as I like to, but it has definitely been an interesting bracket round. Now, another thing that has been going on is with the NBA draft, not the NBA, NFL draft, There's still a couple of trades going on. A big one that just happened was the George Pickens trade to the Cowboys, which is actually really good for the Cowboys as they shore up some depth in the wide receiver room. CeeDee Lamb gets a new partner, and hopefully now with their new coach, that they will be able to play quite well. You never tell with the Cowboys, they can always be like, it's just, they're kind of up and down. And it's always just a little weird what goes on with the Cowboys. It's just always just a little bit different. But yeah, that's a quick little sports update for you guys from the perspective of the pool of the Shankmaster. If you just wanted the update, then click off here. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm now going to talk a little bit more about the PDGA Champions Cup. So with the Champions Cup, so I think it's a good thing. So starting round one, you've got this Paul McBeth in Classic Beast Mode. He's 14 under. He set a course record. He had a bogey and he still went 14 under, which is really insane, especially for Stockton. Like that course is just something else. And I think this shows that Paul McBeth maybe has a little bit more in him. He hasn't won an event since 2023. It was like a Europe event, and he hasn't won since then. And I think it's kind of sad to see no McBeast mode. Paul McBeth isn't just Paul McBething it. But I think this kind of shows, he's ready. He's ready to go. Maybe he gets one more world. Maybe he wins one more Worlds, and I think that would be really good for him. It'd be a cool thing for his legacy, winning seven world titles. That'd be cool. In round two, I was actually really excited for because that lead card was something else. Like that lead card in round two, Robinson, McBeth, Barella, and Wysocki is almost like it's a good mix of the new and the old. Paul McBeth, Ricky, Wysocki, the old great two players battling it out. And now you've got Isaac Robinson, the current, the two-time world champion, 2 in a row. He's just kind of nuts, And AB, this young, he's kind of young and up and coming, but not really young and up and coming at this point. And he's playing well. And this Stockton really fits him. It's a big bomb. You can throw some big bombs, a little bit of control. He had a tap in the eagle at one point, and it's just kind of crazy like that. Kind of sitting on the outside, you've got a couple of players that'll kind of sneaky in some events. Marweed, Sullivan Tipton, Casey White, Andrew Presnell. They're always a little bit sneaky when it comes to events like this. They could be there, they could not be there, and it just kind of depends on the event and what happens. Round three is what the heck is this card with Sullivan Tipton, Isaac Robinson, Andrew Marweed, and Ben Callaway. Isaac Robinson, it's just Isaac being Isaac. He's always going to be there doing something. Sullivan Tipton, Andrew Marweed, and Ben, I feel like they've been on cards before and that they know how to compete on the lights, but none of them, I think Andrew's got a win maybe. I don't think he does actually. I don't think any of them really have a big win under their belt. Being from Iowa, it would have been cool to see Ben do well at that event and win a cup, but it didn't happen. On the outside, you had Ricky, AB, Paul, and Eagle McMahon. And I really like to see Eagle back up. I think I really liked Eagle when he was in his prime, throwing 800-foot shots, just this big bomber. He could do whatever he liked. He had huge highlights. His driving was like Gannon's putting, where it was just kind of on point. And I think it's good to see him moving up again. I really want to see him do well. I think it's better to have a sport with a big bomber like him. And while we do have AB, Eagle's he was just kind of this cool guy. He was the future of the sport, and now he's kind of faded a little bit into the background, which is kind of disappointing. And in that final round, Isaac, AB, Marweed, and then Burr. And this is it. Isaac, Anthony, and Gannon are the next, they're the next greats. AB with his big power. Gannon, he's got power, he's got touch, he's won so many events. He just needs that world title now. He's gonna get it. He's got a lot of years. He should be able to get that. Isaac with his, 4 major titles now. They're just kind of those are the 3 guys we're going to need to watch, that people are going to be watching and to see what they're going to do, because they're at least one of them, most likely two of them, will be in every single event that they play. Gannon especially, I think it's been a little bit tough on Gannon. I think he's suffered through a couple of injuries, but he's still this just great player with a lot of great talent. And I do think maybe he won't win Worlds next year, but he's definitely going to get probably 2 within the next 5 years, just because he's too good to not win a world title. Probably 2. Like, he's just too good for it not to happen. And Andrew Marwade, he's kind of in and out as it goes. Like, it kind of just depends on the day in the tournament, and maybe he's in, maybe he's out. It's just like, you never know. It's just depends. And 5th, we've got Adam Hammes. Adam's been playing really well these past couple tournaments. He's normally pretty close to events, pretty close to the top during events. He's got a couple of big wins under his belt. I think he's definitely a good all-around player, solid. Ricky's Ricky. I don't think we need to say much there. Sullivan, I think this was just an event where we just had a guy that popped up, and now it's going to be probably a little bit back down. Calvin, which I don't think he's really had a great year so far, from my knowledge. It'd be cool for him to finally get like his world title, win a major, I don't think he's won a major, so win a major, get something big like that. Ezra Adderhold, that's interesting. Andrew Presnell, also interesting. And then Paul just dropped like the rock. Oh my word. Paul McBeth finishing 20. Yeah, that's tough. But I definitely think it was definitely an interesting event. Like, the winner wasn't interesting, but how it played out was a little bit different. It was a bit closer, which was nice. But overall, I think it was a really fun event with a couple of really cool shots and a good finish. Next up, I'm not certain. Let's see what's next up on the schedule. Next up on the schedule is the Cascade Challenge. Ooh, boy. Don't really know what happens there, and I think it's off. Yeah, Cascade Challenge. Yeah. I don't know really. I don't think I've really seen much with that one, but it's in Washington. Normally those Northwest courses, Northwest tournaments, just even a lot of those Western tournaments, they're pretty fun to watch. Normally do a pretty good job, but I can't wait to see what happens. I hope Paul gets his win soon. I think that'd be really cool. But thank you for watching the sports update and a little bit of the Champions Cup analysis. Please leave a like, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. I think that'd be super cool. Leave a comment if you got more things you want me to talk about. Yeah, thank you for watching.